I like that, the rainbow
There
recyclops.
we go.
There we go. Hi,
There we
BJ.
go.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I like your intro. You know the mask goes like that. You know that. You got the eyes great. Um, yeah, I'm
Oh,
good. I
it's
liked what you had to say. You know about John Lewis talking about the century. You know what I think about a lot is that we think 2020 is so late, but look what happened in the 20th century. When you think of the 20th century, do you think of anything that happened before 1920? Could they ever have imagined people walking on the moon and the civil rights movement and the summer of love and
The
like
Office.
the office? Exactly. I was obviously everything's pointing towards that. So I am optimistic that we think this is the 21st century. 21st century, none of the famous figures of the 21st century had even come on the scene yet. So hopefully some of your SoulPancake followers will be that next generation.
I love that. That's very well said. I mean, there was World War One. There was that little matter of World War One. But you're absolutely right.
How
We
often
weren't
do
on
we
the.
talk about World War One? How many Tom Hanks World
Uh,
War One movies are
there's a
there
couple
compared to
of
World War Two?
mediocre movies about World War One. It's a much more difficult war to make a movie about, don't you think?
Yeah,
There's no real
that's my
bad
point.
guys. It's just a bunch of people in trenches with their guns
It's
pointed at each other.
that and Godfather are the two examples of the sequel being way more epic than the original.
What a horrible thing to say. Millions dead, and here we are degrading
Exactly.
and denigrating World War One. Why do you have a cute little?
Imagine if would they have any idea that World War One would not impress us at this point in history? I guess that means
Exactly.
things can get a lot worse too. My point is things can change a lot.
Would they have any idea that World War One would make such terrible movies?
No, they'd be like, well, as soon as they invent movies, obviously every movie's going to be about
Every movie
this.
is going to be a World War One because it's
This is
so
crazy.
epic.
I
Why are
think
you
that,
wearing such?
yeah.
Hold on. Why are you wearing such a cute, jaunty little sweatband? What's going on with that?
Well, I'm very surprised that a man outfitted as you are would even comment on what I'm wearing. My hair is a little long, and I got these for like $5 for five. So that's how I keep my hair out of my face.
Nice. BJ, uh, what are you up to? Are you able to stay creative during this crazy time?
Stay creative. That's a nice compliment. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
you're a very creative
writing
young
is,
man.
is writing is very hard, but I'm doing it. You just stare. It's easy to forget all the times you're creative. So I'm doing creative work all day, and then a few times a day I make myself laugh, and I guess that at the end of the day I did something, but it certainly doesn't feel that way.
But I know for a lot of
But
people,
yes,
even writers that I speak to, are not able to be creative and not able to do work during the quarantine. They really have spent like 3 or 4 months just completely unproductive for whatever
I
reason,
think
the
that's
higher
great.
level of anxiety or what have you.
I think that's great, and I really do, and I think people should lean into it. I think that we could use a reset. I would love everything post this to be very different than everything pre that, and I think artists often lead the way of the mood. So I wouldn't want everything after this to be a continuation of whatever you've been working on before. So I think take this time, take it in, be one with the universe, absorb it, and then whoever you are coming out of it, make work based on that. I, like everyone else that I know who is working, signed up for stuff before all this. So now we need to
Yes.
kind of continue and adapt that. So
Yeah.
hopefully this will add to it. Yeah.
Do you think that people's writing work, by and large, for television and film, is going to incorporate the pandemic, or kind of be in a nebulous pre-pandemic time frame?
I think we'll be in a post-pandemic time frame, you know.
No, I mean
Um,
the writing work that they're doing now. Do you think it'll be set in a pre-pandemic time frame, or post-pandemic, or during the pandemic? We don't know how
I
long this
mean,
thing is going to last.
yeah, I mean, my boring speculative answer is that the stuff before will kind of be hopefully indistinguishable from the stuff after that doesn't mention it much, and that will be the nebulousness. I think that things that take place in pandemic, unless this goes on for a long, like years and years and years, I think that will seem gimmicky and annoying. But it is weird. Don't you notice when you watch a movie or TV show now, You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
why are
And
they so
people are hugging
close?
each other, they're
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
high-fiving,
Exactly.
they're shaking hands, they're kissing on the cheek. I was recently, my 15-year-old son is obsessed with Succession, which is one of my very favorite shows of all time, and we're rewatching Succession, and the amount of like hugging and closeness and sharing glasses and beer bottles and cigarettes is just blowing my mind.
Yeah. It's so
Can you
funny.
talk?
That's what they'll have to edit out soon. No cigarettes and no people within 6 feet.
What are you doing? Or what can you talk about what you're writing?
But yeah, well, I have this movie that I was filming that I have 9 days left on. So
You
I'm
have so
editing
the
that.
plug was pulled on your movie that has days left to shoot.
Yep.
Wow, that's rough.
I mean, we'll be back.
Here's the good news.
Yeah,
Here's the good news. In those 9 days, you can find a part for me.
I know. It's
In
going
those
to
nine
come down.
remaining days, you can shoehorn me into your film.
That sounds great. Maybe if it's still COVID, you could dress just like this and we could just splice this in because this is a good villain
This is,
or friend.
yeah, this is either the crazy friend or the villain.
Yeah.
Either the goofy friend or the villain. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's amazing. What's the movie called, or what's it about?
It's called Vengeance. And it's kind of a mix of things. Um, it's a dark comedy that becomes kind of a suspense. Wouldn't quite say thriller, but kind of thriller. You know, like a mystery movie. It's about a podcaster who gets in too deep with the thing he's investigating under somewhat false pretenses. So it's a comedy beginning, but then the story kind of takes seriously what is going on. It's cool.
That's that's
It's
amazing.
with
So you're
Blumhouse.
ed. I'm sorry.
It's with Blumhouse.
Right, right.
They did Get Out, and they sometimes do things like right on that line, so they're cool.
Amazing, amazing. I loved The Invisible Man too. I thought that was incredible.
Thank you. I worked hard on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I was in The Invisible Man. I was the other Invisible Man. I was in almost every scene of the movie,
I
but you
love
didn't
that.
see me. It's not credited. But I was just there watching
I wish I
Elizabeth
thought of that line.
Moss.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
I was just watching what was up with her and the boyfriend chasing her and just hanging out. And
Mm.
I was living, when she's staying with that friend and they go up the ladder and they kicks the paint on the Invisible Man and it falls on his face. Like
Yeah.
I was right there. I was so lucky that paint didn't hit me. Should I let this joke
Well,
go now?
I think it's a great joke. I
I just
understand that you're looking for a tag, but I
I
laugh
never
hard.
know I never know how long to stay in a joke.
Um, I think it's fine. The audience often edits things for you in your head.
That's true. Um, that's fantastic. What else are you working on?
I have this show for FX. It's an anthology show where each episode is a single big premise. Uh, Usually comic about the world today, but they're big ideas. So it's a lot like Black Mirror, except uh, not as much science and not as much darkness. Kind of a funnier job.
And are you writing every single one of them, or do you have a writing staff kind of
I
coming up with
had
the
a few.
worlds?
I had a few people I worked with week to week. I'm gonna write or co-write them all. I
Hmm.
want to set the tone of the season, but eventually I'd like it to be a showcase where people could tell me that one idea they've always had. It's not quite a movie, and I could bring them on to do it for the show. So
Okay,
hopefully,
here's my pitch. Here's my
I love
pitch.
it. Right.
There's a guy in a
Have you thought about
ski
this before?
mask
Yeah.
and a COVID and a face mask in an airport.
Yeah.
That's all I got so far.
And he's having a very important conversation with a friend he hasn't spoken to in a while, but right behind him, his plane is approaching. And I say, don't you get on that plane.
Oh, that's
I
good.
say,
That's
don't
good.
you
We're
get on
upping the
that plane.
stakes.
And you say, but it's my family. They need me. And I say, are you going to choose your past or are you going to choose your future?
Oh my God. And it's like sliding doors with Gwyneth Paltrow.
If you play out both scenarios, sure. I was just going to follow your dilemma.
Okay, gotcha. Listen, BJ, have you personally uh, learned anything? Um, have you gained wisdom or perspective uh, through this pandemic of the last 3 or 4 months? Do you see the world in a different way at all?
Yeah, I think that combined with all the social consciousness that has gone on, I think at the same time has really um, sort of helped and given me the time to really think about how is the world set up. You know, we've been going in this whole direction for so long, and then everything has to stop. And as it stops, people are like, hey, don't you realize how fucked up a lot of this was? And we can't
Right.
keep moving forward. We're stopping anyway. And I think not just about social justice issues, but it makes me think about schools. You know, yes, prisons, but also schools. What is every institutional structure that we've just been going on about? And could we start fresh? If we were to start fresh, how would we do it? So I've been thinking about that a lot. I have not solved it yet, but I'm on it.
Let's figure that out.
I'm on it.
And let's make a show about it and make a lot of money from it.
That's the whole point, and then keep it within our own elite.
Right. Listen, don't you think that this social justice uprising really went hand in hand with the quarantine? That if we weren't under quarantine, there might not be this kind of epic youth movement going on. Um, I mean, those three murders in my mind were pretty severe, but we've had severe ones in the past before that have kind of just blown by and people have ignored, and
Hmm.
there've been some like flare-ups.
Yeah, I don't know why it is now. I think we have to trust that it was in our collective mind, and it was the moment for it to come up. But I really don't know. It definitely seems like they relate, but I don't know.
Look at these people.
I like them.
I like them a lot.
It's their big moment.
I'm excited. They're getting discovered right now. I'm excited to share a plane with them.
Yeah. Do you
I,
think
if
Daft Punk is having an easy time with the quarantine comparatively?
Yeah, just with the mask and all. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
They're like,
Yeah,
what's so different?
yeah. They're like big deal,
I
big
don't
deal.
get it.
Um, Perhaps skiers as well.
If they're always skiing, yeah.
Um, BJ, listen, I'm going to get ready to board my plane. I'm cutting the show a little bit short. Thank you.
What group are you in?
Um, I'm in group. I'm in group two.
Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. I got the extra leg room, but I'm not in first class.
Group two. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. How far
Sorry.
we've fallen, right? How far
You know,
we've
my
fallen.
favorite thing to do is I've always wanted to do this. Get on Southwest, get A1, just sit in like row 13, middle seat. Just so A2 is like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
This guy got A1 and he picked that seat. That's what I want to do.
Do you know what I want to do? I want to pick up the courtesy telephone and just be as polite as I possibly can be. Just, hello,
And
ma'am.
what's
How
the
are you
courtesy
this
phone?
evening? Thank you so much for answering so
Can
promptly.
I do can I do anything for you?
Can I help you? No. What can I do for you?
Can
Exactly.
I help you?
Exactly. Um,
That's a great sketch, Rainn. You've said two incredibly funny things.
BJ, we work so well together. This is it. I'm just riffing off of your sparkly, beautiful brain, and
Just don't
so you
attack me.
know, right apart from me,
Yeah, I love it.
in, in which I
Always
take my shirt off.
great. But leave your
Okay,
mask on. That'll be fantastic.
mask on, shirt off.
Get bumper stickers. All
Is
right,
that a
Rainn.
rap song?
Love you.
I
Great to
love
see
you,
you.
BJ Novak. You're a wonderful human being. Good
So
luck
are
with
you.
your projects.
Thank you too. Have a good trip. Bye.
Okay, goodbye. What an asshole. Jesus. Um, Thanks so much for watching Hey There Human, everyone. This is a special Hey There Human live from the Santa Barbara airport.